Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nidhi and you're watching my series on how to become a cabin crew. So today's video is all about video interviews. Yes, you heard it right. Actually, a lot of international airlines have started conducting video interviews as part of their initial screening process because it helps them to identify and shortlist the candidates that they would like to see. But a lot of airlines also do conduct video interviews as part of their last interview round. However, most of the times is actually the initial screening process. Now, the airlines that I'm talking about are Singapore Airlines, Virgin Atlantic, Emirates, and of course there's a long list based on the country that you're in. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I've actually made a video where I have highlighted how you can use the software for Singapore Airlines, which is called HireView. I've made a dedicated video on how the software is used, what exactly are the technicalities and stuff like that. I'll definitely be coming up with a video very soon as to how they analyze using that software and how the candidates get selected. I'm still doing my research, so you've got to wait for that for a short while. But at the same time, today I wanted to talk about wepow. I am hoping that's how it's pronounced because I couldn't find its pronunciation anywhere online. But this is software which is also used for interviews. And I'm going to talk about Virgin Atlantic today because Virgin Atlantic actually uses this particular software. This is a pre-recorded interview, which means that the questions are already recorded and they will be shown to you over your laptop or your phone. And you basically have to answer that questions while you're looking at the camera. And while this process is going on, you will be recorded. And once you finish the answer, your image plus the whole video that you have made with your answers will get recorded and will be submitted. So usually there is 3 to 4 questions that every video interview process will have. Most of the times in a pre-recorded interview, in fact, in a pre-recorded interview, you will never ever have a live interviewer. However, you might see the face of the interviewer or you might not see the face of the interviewer. It depends on how the interview is being designed. Sometimes you will only see the questions that will pop up. Sometimes you will see an interviewer who's asking you the questions. However, it is not a live interviewer. It's a pre-recorded interview where the interviewer just sat down and recorded some of the questions, and that's going to flash up on your screen. So regardless of whether you see the interviewer or you don't see the interviewer, do not get panicked. Some of the tips that I wanted to share with you that I told you that I will do would be always sound very calm and professional. Remember to have this excellent smile on your face at all times. When you are giving an answer, try and look at the camera because that goes to show that you're trying to make an engaging conversation. You're trying to have an eye contact when you're talking to them. And the most important thing that I always say, do not have to aim for perfection, aim for connection. When you're talking, that's exactly what I do. When I'm talking to you guys, when I'm looking at the camera, I don't really look at the camera. I imagine that you guys are sitting beyond the camera and listening to me. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to imagine that the interviewers are actually sitting beyond that camera and they're looking at you. So from that perspective, remember you have to be calm, you have to be professional, have great grooming, have that excellent smile on your face. Even if you're a little bit nervous, it's all right, but try to have a good eye contact. Try and keep going on even if you don't know what the answer is, even if you get stuck or stumble a little bit while you're giving the answer. Don't just, panic and stop talking. Just still give your best. Try your best. Keep going on. Even if you feel a little bit nervous, try and work with all the tips that I have shared with all of you in my earlier videos. Go through them and take a look at them and then see how best you can answer these questions. I'll also share some of the questions that have been shared with me by a few of my students and followers. So let me take you through the email and show you some of the important stuff that you need to know even before you start the interview. So when you receive your email, it will actually give you very clear directions. It would actually state the link that you need to click on to be able to start your interview. It also tells you that if you're using a PC or a laptop, you can actually directly use this link if you have a webcam that is functional. But if you're using a tablet or a smartphone, then obviously you need to download the software, wepow software, and then you have to go ahead. So then when you click on the link, it would automatically redirect you to that particular app. And that's how it works. It's actually very similar to every software that you would have probably worked with ever in your life, because that's what happens when you have a link. You can actually directly open it up in a browser, but if you're using that link on a phone usually would direct you to that particular software that you need to use to be able to use that link to open up. And basically, they tell you if you don't have enough equipments, you can always email to them and they can look at doing a telephone interview for you as well. Now, this is very, very specific to Virgin Atlantic interview that I'm referring to because that's where the email is from. And of course, they tell you if you face any technical issues, this is where you can contact them. They have also mentioned the deadline. So they've told you what time do you need to finish this by. So remember, the time is mentioned in UK time. So if you are in a different time zone, remember to actually follow the UK time zone and don't follow your own time zone, because this is what a lot of people tell me about video interviews a lot of times. Okay, so when you click on the link, it'll basically take you to the interview itself, and some of the snippets that I'm going to show to you in terms of what exactly would you see after this is not really taken from Virgin Atlantic interview, but it's actually taken from the wepow YouTube research that I did. There are some videos available as to how this app works, and that's what I'm going to show to you right now. So to just give you an overview of what exactly is going to happen. So when you click on that link, you will basically be directed to the page that would tell you that you can start your interview, and you have to agree to the terms and conditions. And of course, there's a demo as well. If you'd like to take a look at it before you actually proceed, I would advise you to do that. And when you get to a page, it would basically tell you as to what the interview is all about. It will give you a description of what exactly would be contained in that interview. Most of the times that's how it should be done, if that's how the organization has designed the interview for you guys. So it would tell you whether you have a written question involved, or if you have like just video-based questions involved. And then it would also tell you as to, how exactly would you need to go through the whole process. So when you click on continue to the interview option, it would basically test the webcam for you. So it will give you the opportunity to be able to direct yourself and make sure that you're sitting upright, you're able to see, test your connectivity, and it says you're all set. So now in this particular option, usually most of the times as part of the demo, the software allows you to do some sort of practice questions. Now these questions wouldn't be necessarily the same questions that will be asked you in the real interview, but most of the softwares do allow you practice sessions. HireView allows you practice sessions as well. So if there is an option to do practice sessions, I would definitely advise you to do it regardless of whether they'll be the same questions or not, because that would actually allow you to build that experience, especially if you've never done video interviews. It will show you, how much time will it take. It will also tell you where exactly should you sit in terms of you can adjust yourself according to the camera and things like that. So I definitely recommend that you do the practice sessions before you actually begin your interview. So of course, once you've done your practice sessions, you can click on begin interview and it will take you through the whole interview process. From there on, basically, you just have to submit your interview and you'll be notified once you're selected or you're not selected. So coming back to the questions. Now, from what has been shared with me and from what I know about most of the times what video interviews entail is an understanding to realize whether you are a suitable candidate to becoming a cabin crew with this particular airline. So when you're giving interviews, the questions most of the times might revolve around why do you want to become a cabin crew? Why do you want to join Virgin Atlantic? Or, give me could you tell us about a situation where you handled a difficult customer? Could you tell us about a situation where you exceeded a customer's expectations? Are always the same, pretty much what they would want to ask you in the final interview as well. It's just that at this point in time, instead of conducting a walk-in interview and directly seeing you, that they're basically seeing you through the lens. So this is what my advice to everyone is. Take it as a normal interview. Do not think of it as a video interview. It's just that it's a limitation that we put in our head that this is a camera and I cannot see the response of the interviewer. Regardless of whatever the response of the interviewer is, your job is to perform in an interview. So take it from that perspective. And that's why I tell people that video interview is exactly the same as a normal interview. The only difference is that you have to be a little more aware of looking at the camera, because you want to show to them that you are maintaining that eye contact. Actually, honestly speaking, I think it's much better if you are looking at yourself and not looking at the interviewer, because when I record my videos and I can actually look at myself, if I'm not smiling, I will actually be like, yeah, why am I not smiling? I should smile more, and that smile will automatically come on my face. Or if I'm moving my head too much, if I'm moving my body too much, then basically I'll be able to make sure that my body language is positive and I'm sitting properly and things like that. So I personally feel video interviews are actually much easier to do than normal interviews. But again, that's my perspective on this. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you about the Virgin Atlantic video interview. So any and everyone who's going for the interview, please watch this video. Do share it with your friends as well. And if you've done the interview, please do let me know what questions were asked so we can all share with each other. Do let me know on my Instagram, or you can just let me know on my YouTube here as well. And yeah, we'll take it from there then. So once again, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you like it. Do comment on the video, do share it, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Do press the notification bell for more video updates. And in the meantime, all of you out there, as I always say, stay pretty, stay handsome, and I love you guys.